What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another live post game on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of ShowMeFootball.com and ArrowheadAddict.com. Let me switch over my mic real quick. I just realized I was using my webcam mic. Hopefully that sounds a lot better for y'all. But guys, Kansas City Chiefs win in week 1 on opening night. They defeat the Baltimore Ravens 27-20 by an inch. By an inch. Isaiah Likely's foot was out of bounds by an inch on that touchdown pass from Lamar Jackson late as the clock expired, and the refs looked at it. They said his foot was out, game over. The Kansas City Chiefs win, and you know that if the Baltimore Ravens ended up getting that, they were going to go for 2, and they were going to try to beat the Kansas City Chiefs with a 2-point conversion. Luckily, we didn't have to sweat it out any longer as the Chiefs go ahead and win that one. But guys, what an opening night game. What a thriller down the stretch there. I do have to say, though, unfortunately, I still actually have to work tonight. So I will have to hop off here shortly. But I wanted to get on here, give you guys a little bit of what my reaction was watching that game. And I'll have a lot more tomorrow. I'll have a lot more over the weekend with Michael Darcy of KC Sports Report. But let's just soak in this victory, guys. What a thrilling win. Patrick Mahomes, 20 of 28 for 291 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Not the best game from him. He threw an ugly interception earlier in the game, and it just kind of made you go, what are you doing, man? Some execution issues here and there for the offense, but for the most part, the offense is in place. We kind of have a flow there. We have a rhythm. We have a group of guys that we know we can trust, which is just something we didn't have last year. Xavier Worthy, I mean, guys, he's going to be a player. He is going to be a player on this team. He's going to be a big contributor this year. What did I say, guys? What did I say? Xavier Worthy going to be a big contributor on this team this year, especially with Hollywood Brown being out. I predicted it that he would have a big impact. He'd have a couple long touchdowns while Hollywood Brown was out. Look what he did tonight, guys. I mean, what was it? I want to say it was 3 catches, or they're labeling the one as a carry. So he had 1 rushing touchdown for 21 yards on that jet sweep. And boy, I mean, you saw the acceleration, guys, on that one. And then he had 2 catches for 47 yards and 1 touchdown. Rashee Rice, I mean, he was unstoppable over the middle of the field tonight. 7 catches for 103 yards. And then you had Travis Kelce and Noah Gray mixing in, Isaiah Pacheco here and there. And I noticed some people kind of talk about how Travis Kelce was really quiet in this game for the most part. He did bail us out there on that 1 3rd down when Mahomes was scrambling. But other than that, was pretty quiet. But that's okay. This is what we wanted. We wanted an offense that could operate without Travis Kelce taking on most of the load. Because as he gets older, you don't want him taking all those hits. You don't want him to be relied on like he's still 28 years old. Because what is he, 34, 35 now? I mean, he's getting up there, guys. So you don't want him to constantly be taking those hits. So this is what we want. We want games like these where Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy can just kind of take over, and Travis Kelce can chill and still draw attention from the defense. So really loved watching the offense from that perspective. And you can just tell that they're going to be a lot more fun this year. You knew when you were having fun early on, and Travis Kelce hadn't even gotten a touch yet, that this offense was going to be good this year. I loved what I saw from them. Yes, some execution issues here and there. Yes, a little bit of a lull in the red zone. It's week 1, though, and I know Juju Smith-Schuster had a drop tonight, but what I'll say about that is I don't even care. I'm just comfortable having him out there. I'm still comfortable having Juju out there as opposed to Sky Moore or Kadarius Toney. I think Sky Moore probably hardly even saw a snap tonight. So, hey, look, that's a win in my book, even if Juju makes a couple mistakes. I mean, that was a tough catch, too. Even if, he had made it, that was a really tough catch to make there. So, I think he'll settle in just fine. Mr. Alex Knight says Hollywood coming back next week. I think the chances are probably 70-30. We'll see how he feels. Andy Reid really complimented his progress last week before he revealed that he would be out for week 1. The fact that he isn't on IR yet is a good sign, though. I mean, I don't think he's going on IR at this point. He should be back. If not the next game, then certainly week 3, I would imagine. Vladdy Nuke says, likely did get Kevin Duranted. Yes, he did. That foot was out of bounds, man. It was out of bounds. Just incredible, man. Out of bounds on that play. And look, you have to give the defense some props here, because even though they had some rough patches tonight, especially Nick Bolton, and I'm a Nick Bolton defender, but guys, he was horrid tonight, especially in coverage. I mean, this game really shouldn't even have been close. There were so many opportunities in this game for us to capitalize, like even going back to that Mahomes interception I mentioned a second ago. If that doesn't happen, then the Ravens don't tack on another 3 points before the end of the half. And who knows, maybe the Chiefs run a 2-minute drill and they score, and then, they're able to pull away. There are some opportunities for the Chiefs to kind of sweep the leg in this game. They didn't, but it's week 1, so I want to stress that. And also, the Ravens are just a really good team. This is a team we think we're going to see in the playoffs. They're going to be in that AFC playoff picture. And I imagine this isn't the last time these two teams will meet this year. So this was, a heavyweight match between two AFC foes, and someone has to lose. I said that on my preview with Michael Darcy last night. So Chiefs come out with a victory. Even if the Chiefs had lost this game, I wouldn't have been freaking out by any means. Yes, it would have sucked to lose in that fashion. You never want to see the clock slowly drain as your defense is being put in a tough spot. But hey, that little shove, man, as Isaiah likely came down with the ball, that won them the game. And his foot was out of bounds and it was no good. And even after that, they still would have had to get the 2-point conversion in order to actually win. And who knows what would have happened. Other notes on the defense, Nick Bolton was rough, like I said, rough in coverage. The pass rush looked a little gassed down the stretch there. You can tell that they're still getting the conditioning in. I don't like how they use Chris Jones all the time on the outside when they're desperate to get a sack or when they're desperate to apply pressure from the edge. Their one strategy is move Chris Jones outside. And I get it. He's good from there and you're able to exploit mismatches, whatever, but maybe that means you should address the edge position. And maybe that means Chris Jones is, taking on too much responsibility, because we want him to age well throughout his contract, right? Get him some help. Cornerback too did not stick out as much tonight as I thought it maybe would have. There were a couple lapses from the DBs where I just thought the ball skills were pretty terrible. But look, man, this defense got the Ravens in a position yet again where they were up by just enough where they kind of forced the Ravens out of their comfort zone. They abandoned the run, guys. They did it again. They abandoned the run, just like the AFC Championship game. John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens, they abandoned the run and they said, Lamar, we need you to make a big time throw. And how many did he miss on tonight, man? There was a few that he missed to Zay Flowers. There was one that should have been picked off by Chamari Connor. And then the one that everyone's going to be talking about, Ravens fans especially, is going to be that throw that he missed in the back of the end zone to a wide open Zay Flowers. That would have scored a touchdown at the end of the game, and that may very well have won them the game. So Lamar Jackson, the jury's still out, man. If I was a Ravens fan, I would not feel great after that performance from Lamar Jackson. He still does Lamar things. You look at the box score, he had 16 carries for 122 yards. He's going to get his yards on the ground, but 41 pass attempts, and he completed 26 of them for 273 yards and 1 touchdown. But if you watch the game, and that's not even a great completion percentage, but you watch the game and just so many missed throws. The Ravens for years have been asking him to make these big time throws in these big time moments, and he just can't do it. Another thing that I mentioned on my preview last night with Michael Darcy of KC Sports Report, Derrick Henry looked extremely mortal in this game. 13 carries for 46 yards. That's 3.5 yards per carry. He had the touchdown on the Ravens' first drive. The Chiefs really struggled to get off the field there. There was a couple big third downs that the Chiefs ended up allowing, and most of it was because of Lamar's legs and that threat, of running outside the pocket. Definitely got the Chiefs defense a couple times, but they'll settle in once again. You never felt terrible with the defense out there at any point. This is still going to be a strong defense this year. I have my concerns here and there. One player that I do want to shout out tonight, though, you guys know I've been banging that defensive tackle drum. Where's the defensive tackle depth on this team? I'm not seeing it. Tershawn Wharton really stepped up. He had several really good rushes in this game that made me go, hold on, wait a second. If Tershawn Wharton's going to play like this year, then I'm a lot less concerned about the defensive tackle position now. So Tershawn Wharton was a huge bright spot tonight on the defensive line. A defensive line that I still have questions about. And Felix Ozama even made a couple plays. I want to say, was that him that recovered that fumble early on in the game on that strip sack from Chris Jones? By the way, did I mention yet that Chris Jones was an absolute monster in this game? The Ravens had absolutely no answer for him. None. I mean, that Ravens offensive line is a problem. If that's another area. If I'm a Ravens fan coming out of this game, the offensive line looks like a problem. Because I don't even consider the Chiefs defensive line to be one of the better ones in the league. I think they're probably going to take it a little bit of a step back this year, at least with Charles Omenihu out. Maybe when he comes back, you'll start to see them take that next step. But the Chiefs pass rush isn't even that good. I mean, you have Chris Jones, but to me, it's Chris Jones and a bunch of guys, right? And some people may consider that like a diss on George Karlaftis. I like Karlaftis, but he's mostly an energy effort guy. I don't think his win rate is high enough to be a number one edge. I think ideally he should be your number two. But I've said that spiel before, right? But offensive line, massive problem for the Baltimore Ravens going forward. They won the time of possession in this game. The Ravens didn't matter. Lamar Jackson, yeah, just a concern, man. If I'm a Ravens fan, I'm concerned. Mr. Alex Knight says, thanks. Off to the Bungholes next week. I liked Watson, thought he played great. Yeah, and that's another note that I wanted to talk about as well is Jalen Watson. A lot of people were concerned about him watching that last preseason game because he was kind of getting cooked, right? In that last preseason game against the Bears, but he had been injured basically the entire preseason, missed a lot of practice during training camp. And so because of that, he didn't have the conditioning, and the Chiefs threw him out there because they knew that he needed the reps. He looked absolutely fine tonight, made a couple nice plays. He made a really nice play on the ball that I remember on a throw down the sidelines from Lamar Jackson, was able to get his head around. Liked what I saw from him. Absolutely agree. Doc Brady says, Chiefs just won me $250. Nice to hear, Doc, man. Glad that the Chiefs were able to win you some money. I know some people are going to be clowning on me because I did pick the Ravens to win last night in our preview show. And there's a reason that I picked them, is because I thought that the Chiefs' execution was going to be a little bit off at some points in this game. It definitely was. And they allowed the Ravens to creep back in, right? And that's kind of the annoying part, only weird games the Chiefs play, right? They only play in weird games. Like that game, I remember watching the Ravens march down the field with 2 minutes left. I'm thinking, man, this game should have been over 10 minutes ago. But that's the Chiefs for you. I mean, they're going to make these games closer than they really need to be. They had several chances to sweep the leg, but the potential is certainly there because you watch this offense. Last year, this offense was simply not able to put teams away. And that, I feel like watching this offense tonight, seeing what they have in Xavier Worthy, seeing Rashee Rice taking a step forward, seeing just the amount of weapons that we have on this offense, and we get to add Hollywood Brown next week, most likely, right? We get to add him back to this offense. Like, think about that. We didn't even have him tonight. But last year, it was really a struggle for this team to break 24 points in a game. That was kind of the magic number. If the Chiefs had just averaged 24 points, 25 points per game on offense last year, I mean, they would have had a much better record than they did. But they just struggled to hit it. Tonight, they hit that. They scored 27 points. That'll win you most games, especially if the defense is even 80% as good as last year. That is good enough for you to win 27 points. So, and there was points like that on the field tonight too. I mean, they settled for field goals a couple times, and I think some of that will get figured out as we go forward. I mean, they still average 7.1 yards per play though, guys. 281 pass yards from Mahomes. Really wish he was able to get that 300-yard game, because it's always nice to see him stack up those 300-yard games. I mean, they're almost like routine to Patrick Mahomes, but I think they will become routine again this year. I mean, last year was obviously not great, but I think we'll start seeing Patrick Mahomes consistently getting back to throwing for 300 yards in a game. But yeah, I mean, the offense, the potential is there for them to really run up the score on teams as they weren't able to do last year. Have to remember again that the Ravens are a really good opponent. And so it's going to be hard to, run up the score on a team like the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, they're tough. They're going to hang around. They also have a good defense. I mean, you put up 27 and the Ravens, we think, are going to be one of the best, if not the best defense in the league again this year. So I don't really have many concerns about the offense coming out of this game. I mean, there's stuff to work out. And I always thought there was going to be. And that's kind of why I picked the Ravens to win in my preview, is because I thought this game was just going to matter a little bit more to them. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a feel out game for the Chiefs. They're still figuring things out. And I mean, of course, the Ravens are going to have their things to figure out, but I just kind of thought this was the Ravens Super Bowl and they wanted to come out and get revenge for their loss in the AFC Championship game, but it didn't happen. Chiefs won by an inch. I mean, a literal inch. I mean, guys, this is the kind of stuff that only happens in Chiefs games. It's crazy. Thailand's chief asset says Xavier Worthy, though, right? Hot diggity, we got a winning ticket. You know, Tyreek was like, damn, when he did that wheel route for a touchdown. Yeah, I know Tyreek tweeted something about Xavier Worthy, too. He was watching this game. Yeah, I mean, you always have those moments early on with rookie receivers where they give you an indication of whether or not they're going to be a big player. We have our moments with Xavier Worthy. We know he's going to be a big player. I mean, he already has more touchdowns than Sky Moore through one game. And of course, that's more of a testament to just how bad Sky Moore is. But I mean, Xavier Worthy is going to be really, really good, I think. I mean, this is only the beginning for him. This is not going to be the last game where he has a super long touchdown. I mean, it's just, and it looks so effortless with him. I mean, you saw him on that jet sweep and the acceleration. And look, there was really good blocking on that screen, and the blockers had to get credit there too. I think Travis Kelce destroyed a couple guys on that jet sweep, but Xavier Worthy's speed is what made that really happen, man. It's special to watch. It's fun to watch. The Buffalo Bills, man. They're the gift that keeps on giving. They gave us Patrick Mahomes. They gave us Xavier Worthy. We traded up in front of them to get Trent McDuffie a few years ago. I mean, we just keep stealing from them. It's insane. I don't know why they do business with us. Really don't know why they keep doing business with us. Andy Reid says everyone who left the game with an injury was able to return to the game tonight, so really no injuries to report. He also said it's a game of inches, and it might be shorter than that. Yeah, I mean, here whenever the refs called it a touchdown, I was thinking, oh my God, here we go. Another just back-breaking, unnecessary Chiefs loss. One of those early losses, you know, at the beginning of the season that just you shake your head at. You know the Chiefs will bounce back, but it's just annoying, right? That's what I thought we were going to have tonight. And then I saw the replay, and I just started laughing, man. I just started laughing because you knew the foot was out. You knew it was out. Yeah, just another painful loss for the Baltimore Ravens. I even have a friend that is a Baltimore Ravens fan, and he swears the games are rigged. He swears the games are rigged because of the ways that they lose to the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm like, no, man, it's just Lamar Jackson. He can't make those big-time throws. And then, I mean, Derrick Henry, I said it earlier, he looked extremely mortal tonight. I mean, I think he's lost a step. He looked slow. And I know he's always been a guy that, you know, takes a little bit before he gets a full head of steam. But that's no longer a signing that really scares me. And I think the Chiefs kind of have Derrick Henry figured out, dating all the way back to that AFC Championship game when the Chiefs won that Super Bowl in 2019. I think when they really want to stop Derrick Henry, they can. And that's what they did again tonight. Some of that is the Ravens offensive line. I think they were pretty mediocre tonight. Eric says Roquan Smith is threatening to fight one of our bottom of the roster players in his interview right now. That doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Roquan Smith likes to muck the game up anytime, you know, things aren't going his way. And when it looked like the Ravens were going to lose down the stretch there, he shoved Mahomes late. And I don't know how the refs didn't call that. I mean, that was so clearly, I mean, that hit was almost as bad, almost as obvious as the one from Joseph Osai in the AFC Championship game a couple years ago that would put us in field goal range and we beat the Bengals. That was dirty, man. Like, there was no reason to shove Mahomes. He was clearly out of bounds. No idea how the refs missed it. Everyone who keeps saying that the refs are always on the Chiefs side, just show them that play. I mean, it's such a ridiculous statement to begin with, but I mean, just show them that. We don't get all the calls, guys. We really don't. That's really all. That last offensive drive before we punted the ball back to the Ravens prior to the 2-minute warning. I didn't love how we kind of got conservative with the play calling there. There was some stupid wasted play where we handed the ball off to Carson Steele, and there was zero blocking at all. And I didn't see too many people talking about it, but that really annoyed me. It's like that classic Andy Reid conservative play calling. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, the play calling definitely was a little frustrating at points tonight. And that just felt like a moment where the Chiefs were like, Carson Steele, we haven't gotten him too many touches tonight. We want to see him, and we think this game is wrapped up. So here's a carry for you, Carson. And it's like, what the heck? This game isn't over. I mean, I don't understand that play. That was very conservative, I thought. And I understand you're trying to run the ball because you're trying to run the clock out. You don't want the ball to fall on the ground and stop the clock. But it's like, and you have Isaiah Pacheco still, and I'm not Isaiah Pacheco's biggest fan by any means, but I'd still go to him in that situation, him being the experienced veteran, as opposed to Carson Steele. And I don't know, there's so many other things that I would have tried there before that play. And I mean, there's just no blocking at all. Like, Carson Steele was set up to fail on that play. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream there. I told y'all this is going to be a quick one, and I still actually have to work tonight. I have to head into work here shortly, but wanted to hop on real quick, give y'all my quick thoughts on this game. And I'll definitely have more tomorrow. Might do something with Michael Darcy of KC Sports Report tomorrow. I know he's doing a show right now as well. Make sure you go check his stuff out because we're going to be doing stuff all season long. But yeah, guys, Kansas City Chiefs, they start out 1-0. We're already ahead of schedule, right? Or ahead of last year, I should say, because we lost that game on Banner Night to the Lions. Chiefs actually come out of Banner Night with a victory. Thrilling game. It's exciting. Little unnecessary. Game should have been over well before that, but yeah, Chiefs win by an inch. So that's all I got for tonight, guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com for more. And I'll see you all in the next one. Go Chiefs!